Hampton lacrosse, it's different. It's something that not many people will experience. It's something that many people won't understand until you're in the position that you're in.
So this program began as a club in the fall of 2011. But prior to that, a young man by the name of Michael Crawford from New York came to Hampton. There was no lacrosse. He decided he wanted to get this program going.
My involvement with Hampton started with my son, my late son, Michael Crawford. Michael played football, he played basketball, and he also played lacrosse. And he developed a passion for the sport of lacrosse. He was the goalie, and he had a lot to do with the number of successes that St. Thomas More had while he was a student there. Michael's senior year at Hampton, he said, "Mom, I'm creating a proposal to introduce the sport of lacrosse to Hampton." Michael had gained enough support from the VP of Student Affairs to actually try and start and see whether there was an interest on the campus. And unfortunately, when Mike came home December of 2000, so this is 2010 now. So when Mike came home December 2010, Michael had an undiagnosed enlarged heart. Michael went into sudden cardiac arrest. We were unable to revive Michael. So unfortunately, Michael passed away December the 28th. This is now 2010. I knew that there was still some unfinished business that my son had started, and that was to try and see if there truly is enough interest on the campus to start a lacrosse club team. I was able, through just Googling, to find Lloyd Carter.
So she called me. I was at work. At that point, I was a chief in the fire department. I saw the number and I ignored it because I'm like, it was a weird area code, but I called it back because you never know. And we got on the phone and we had the fateful conversation. And she was telling me the story, what I just told you. And by the time she got through the story, halfway through the story, she was in tears, obviously. And now I'm in tears. I'm over the phone. I don't even know this woman. I'm in tears. And I cut her off. And this is the statement. I said, "Mrs. Crawford." She said, "Yes." I said, "You believe in God?" She said, "Yes." I can tell the story and not get too emotional. I still got to kind of gather myself. I said, "Well, God had you call the right person." And from that point on, I used to commute from Baltimore to Hampton, which is 4 hours one way, every weekend to start the program.
So we had our first club meeting on Hampton's campus. It was I'm almost certain it was March the 25th, 2011. We had created flyers to try and generate as much interest as we could. So we had the interest meeting, again, March 2011. There were probably, I'm going to say, maybe 50 to 70 students that were in the student center for this first meeting.
I needed a guest speaker, and it was him. Whenever we do something HBCU related, he would always pop up. He would always be involved. So, he was in almost from the beginning. He was, and it was just, I just knew that the bond was there for this program.
It was so new at the time, right? That it was just exciting to me. It was just exciting to be able to sit down among these young people, and it was men and women at the time, right? That I got to speak to, and just knowing that there was something special brewing. Felt awesome to sit in that room knowing that it was not an opportunity that I had ever had to be a part of something. It was not, or something like that. It was not an opportunity that most of those students had ever had. And I just wanted to be close to it. I just wanted to be close to it.
Those meetings, we knew something good was going to happen. And the financial challenges were always there, but we were blessed the money would show up.
U.S. Lacrosse provided the equipment, the uniforms. The $5,000 that Subtle Motors provided really helped us get our uniforms. So there were so many relationships that we had to develop to try and help us move things forward.
And we just, we just moved forward. And then when we went Division I, that was amazing. That was amazing.
ESPN SportsCenter on the road arrived. Why? Because Hampton University is the first historically black college to gain a D1 lacrosse team. With 2 full hours of a live broadcast from Armstrong Stadium, Hampton reached a new level of sports media worldwide.
We make up about a quarter of the black men playing Division I lacrosse. Hampton University does. There are, give or take, about 160 black players across the entire Division I lacrosse landscape.
You can just see God's work in this whole thing. I could just see him just saying, "Nah, I want the brothers and the sisters to be exposed to this game at the levels that they need to." And so that's how I've always seen it. We've just been blessed with opportunity with people that saw what we wanted to do, and they did their part and brought it along.
All right, JC, how far do you see this program going in the coming years?
I see it going really far. I see us being one day in Division I, NCAA league. We just got to get a couple years, and we'll be good.
There's one moment that specifically sticks out to me where we're at Drexel and it's raining outside, it's cold, we're in PA, it's nasty conditions. And our offense is riding the ball and we cause a turnover and I hear like a crowd erupt. And I look to the left of me and I look into the stands and it's a whole bunch of kids, like minority, and they all have lacrosse sticks in their hands and they're sitting there and they are screaming their little butts off because we caused a turnover. And that's when it like really clicked and it was like, oh, that's what coach means by this is bigger than us. This is bigger than you. Like, this program is definitely something special. We're the only Division I HBCU lacrosse team in the country. And on top of that, we inspire so many other kids to pick up a lacrosse stick. Yeah, lacrosse was looked at as a white sport before, but I see kids that look like me, that talk like me, that act like me, playing Division I lacrosse.
As a sport that was really started by Native Americans many, many centuries ago, I think it gives young people of color that are looking to identify with a sport where there's so much history that's tied to that sport. So there's more to lacrosse than just picking up that stick and moving that stick around, but it's going back, understanding the value of what lacrosse is all about. It's known as the creator's game for reasons that I think can have a tremendous impact on young people that are reaching out today, looking beyond not only the academic value of what an HBCU can provide, but looking at what is the historical value of my engaging in the sport of lacrosse.
This program has served as a mechanism of healing. It's the closest thing to the roots of the sport that there is, probably in the entire game, certainly in all of college lacrosse.
Honestly speaking, like Hampton lacrosse, I can relate just growing not only on the field, not growing in interpersonal relationships, but like just growing as a man myself.
I think I have 2 really good assistant coaches on board with me who understand not only how to teach the game and teach parts of the game, but I think I have 2 guys who really, truly are rooted at their core in developing young men into grown men, into leaders, into business owners, fathers, husbands, etc. That's who we are at our core as a staff. That's what we want to be about. And I think we're doing a good job with that so far. If you want to know who we are, you have to speak to the young men who make up this program. You have to come see who they are as people. You have to come see the effort they put in the weight room. You have to see the smiles on their faces while they're playing. You have to see how they interact with one another. Our young men are who we are and will always be who we are, and they will continue to live out this dream. I think what's really cool about this program, we talked about Michael Crawford. This was his dream. We get to live out somebody's dream. That's how incredibly important this program is.
If they could just remember that there was a kid in Brooklyn, New York, named Michael Justin Crawford, who had a vision that Hampton could, in fact, have a lacrosse team. So when I think about the long-term growth of Hampton, if young people coming in today, young men coming in today, if they can just stop for a second and realize that it took one person, sometimes all it takes is one person to say, I think we can do this. I think we can create a club team.